Okay. Good morning, friends, and welcome to The Sacred View. And today I have a really special guest, my good friend Phil Robertson, all the way from Florida. He was up here in Nashville, and I called him and I said, please come by. We've known each other for many years, for many ways,
Okay.
and primarily helping children and young people, right?
Yeah.
And now he's doing it full time with Florida College. Can you tell us what you're doing at the college?
Oh, I got the best job in the college. First of all, thank you for the invitation.
Oh.
This is so sweet of you.
We're so thrilled.
What an honor.
Oh.
What an honor. The sacred. There's the view on television, then there's the sacred view,
sacred
which
view.
I like better.
Very different.
Very different. No, I've got the best job in the whole college. I get to do, first of all, a lot of traveling because I help with fundraising, and
Great.
we're blessed to have so many people all over the nation who
Yes, there's
love to give
people out
to the mission and the work of Florida College. And then I also do quite a bit of work with our camps.
Oh.
And we have, 23 camps off the mission.
23. Yeah.
And so I have worked with the camps, and Deborah Brewer, who heads our Hutchison Bell and Volunteer
Right.
Association. And then I also had the privilege to take students on mission trips.
Do you really?
And so the past 3 years, Cheryl and I have...
Cheryl is his lovely
That's
wife.
my wife, my
Yes.
amazing
We're here
wife.
today.
Um,
Soon bring her.
I will. Next time, definitely to bring Cheryl. But we take students to the Philippines. And so I'll take anywhere.
That's very dear to me. My father did a lot of work in that building.
And so we go over there and work, and the students that go with us not only go on the trips, but they stay connected with the brethren throughout the year. And the students and I have even worked with another brother down in Tampa, Gary Kaufman, and we have a charity set up where the students are contributing to that, and we're helping support the brethren over there financially as well as...
And now that those students know those brethren,
Mhm.
how wonderful.
Yeah.
That connection, that
Yeah.
makes a difference.
Yeah, so
Definitely.
I'm helping students do that, and then working with some of the young men on campus that want to preach. I have a young man interning with me right now, so I get to make touches with the students.
Wow.
But really, it's a wonderful place to work, and it's a growing school.
It is a
and
growing school.
we are so blessed, so it's just an honor to be a part of it.
And I know my viewers you can't turn on the news nowadays without seeing some kind of protest on a college campus or college-age kids doing crazy stuff. What kind of protests happen at Florida College? Tell us about it.
Well, our protests are merely centered around, hey, can we stay out later because of curfew, or can I get a few more chapel cuts? Now, our students are amazing, Dana.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think of the student who comes to Florida College, 85% of our kids are coming from churches and
Really?
our brotherhood.
85%.
So you have a community there that is not built on insulating from the outside.
Right.
We see it as a boot camp to stir up
Wow.
young hearts to go out into the mission field and serve God and others.
That's an appropriate word
Yeah.
for a college. It is a boot camp.
Yeah, and well, Thaxter Dickey, who is one of our longtime professors, been there for a long time, teaches psychology.
Yep.
He says, we see ourselves as guardians, if you will, of our brotherhood's children. We are there to help them
Yes.
flourish and grow in their faith as well as their academics. And if you think about it, who better to teach your children psychology
Oh, boy.
than a brother in Christ like
Right.
Thaxter Dickey? And if you know Thaxter, well, you know. If you don't know, he's one of the most intelligent men you'll ever be around in your life, who loves the Lord greatly, and he knows how to present education in a way that draws you closer to God, but also, more importantly, gives you what you need to go out into the world, so that the world is not an obstacle, but it's an opportunity for you to go out and share others
Boy,
Christ.
these students are going to need those tools, aren't they?
Yeah, and so that's what we see ourselves.
Wonderful.
So you talk about protest.
Yeah.
Our students are amazing. They love to serve. They love to give. They love to grow. Every week.
Great to hear.
Every week, you'll have hundreds of students gather for just devotions in the evening at 10 o'clock. Anywhere from a third to a half of the student body is on their own at a student-led devotion.
Wow.
And it's amazing. It's all the time. It's just good kids.
Yeah. So their gatherings are all about love and God and purpose. And I know I've heard and I've read in some of your literature some of the different missions that the children or the students, not the children, are going on and what they're doing within your own community. Mm-hmm. And they, of course, take that home and those experiences. And that's where we're going to see the next generation of Christians and the way the church will go. And hopefully we'll all be together in heaven and talk about that's the one goal of all of us, and it should be.
Well, and the point of an education at Florida College, and you think in just our mission, we educate the whole person,
right?
The whole person, and we want them to learn to imitate Christ, in service to God and the world. So it's not just mental, it's spiritual, and it's social, and it's the idea of helping these students understand that they're now holding a treasure. Every single one of us have time, talent, and treasures.
Yes.
And God has given you those things, not just to make yourself comfortable. No, He's giving you those things so that you can be a blessing to others. And so that's the message. And that's what you see in the students. And that's what makes it such a wonderful place to work, especially when you see these young people going out there and growing in their faith, becoming active in their faith, and using their academics
exciting
as simply an opportunity to go and to serve others.
And how fortunate for you to know you've touched those lives.
Well,
what a great thing.
It's a blessing.
It is a blessing. It's a blessing both ways. Mm-hmm. I know I have a grandson there now, and he loves Mr. Phil. And my grandkids who've gone to camps where Mr. Phil has showed up, they've told me Mr. Phil was there. And so you've got a great spark that you're so sharing with the college and just with everyone. And that's why I wanted to have him here today. He also wants to tell us about what you and Cheryl are doing separately that I told someone about earlier this week. And they said, oh, I wish I could have gone before my kids were all grown up. Tell us what you and Cheryl are doing.
Well, one thing that we feel like we're at a position to do now in our life, our kids, we're empty nesters.
Yeah.
And we were blessed, have been blessed with two wonderful children.
Yes.
And
I know one, their daughter, she's amazing. Jill is great. Yeah.
I'm a little partial. Yeah. But we're kind of in a position now, and we're being asked to do more parenting seminars and talk about parenting. Now, let me just give a very quick disclaimer. We were not perfect parents. We're still not perfect parents.
Who is?
And parenting is an art. It's not a science.
Oh, it is an art. You're right. It's an art.
If we feel like we can share some things or just get some discussions going that can help parents, that's what we want to do. So we're starting to do more parenting workshops, parenting seminars at churches.
Wonderful.
And sitting down and just trying to get the conversation going. And if anything, to try to just be a resource and provide a resource to our parents.
Parents can never have too many resources because all along the way of parenting until they're in college, you hit different seasons of the children's and different needs. And I'm sure having raised two great kids, you've been through all those seasons with your children, haven't you?
We have. And we're in the season now.
And you're in a season.
We're in the season now. It's kind of interesting. Did you and David have pre-marriage counseling before y'all got married?
Well, it was a prerequisite of where we wanted to get married. This Reverend Sugarbaker, truly that was his name, said you have to have an hour with me before. And my father and my brother married us. Yeah. And it was a joke.
Well, isn't it interesting? Same thing for Cheryl. No pre-marriage counseling. Today, well, Mr. Sugarbaker, I'm the same way. If you want me involved in your wedding, you've got to go through pre-marriage counseling, whether it's with me or somebody else, me and Cheryl or somebody else. And I just think what a wonderful resource that is to sit down with brethren.
Yeah.
And let's talk about marriage before we get into it. We didn't do that many years ago. I mean, it was just don't get divorced. There's your marriage counseling. Don't get divorced. God said it's forever. Well, now more and more we see the value in that.
Yes, there is.
It's the same thing with parenting
When it's done by somebody of value.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I would love for my grandkids to have your counseling before marriage, so.
Mainly you want Cheryl. Let's just be honest. You want to hear Cheryl's wisdom. But
you just got to relax, Cheryl.
Exactly.
You know what?
When we talk parenting, it's mostly, it's almost
How long have you and Cheryl been married?
We've been married, it'll be 36 years this year.
36 years. Yeah, you've seen some seasons. Yeah, you have.
That's been a joy. It's just been a joy. And so we want to try to just give back and help.
Yes.
And help parents think through the process, because every child is different.
Yes.
No two children are the same. And I just feel that there's a great need in our brotherhood. Let's talk parenting like now we're talking marriage before we get into it.
Right.
And in parenting as you continue to go through it, because there's even a role in parenting for grandparents.
Oh, there should be. There should be. And it's the sweetest role of all. But yeah, there should be. Now, tell me, what are some of the subjects that you've covered?
Well, first thing, if we think back to the passage in Proverbs, and we've probably heard this our whole life, train up a child in the way that they should go. And when they are old, they will not depart from it. Now, real quick, that is a principle, not an absolute.
Correct.
Okay. Yes. And I want to make sure, and even make sure for everybody watching today, we all have failed at times as parents. And ultimately, our children are going to choose to be faithful to God, no matter what we do or don't do. Now, at the same time, I want to do all I can. And to me, the proverb is very powerful. It's not teach your child. It's not just show your child. It's train the child. And so it goes beyond mere academics, just putting them in Bible class. It goes beyond just, hey, I'm going to be a good example. Well, those are very important. Training implies I'm going to work alongside you to help you be proficient and help you grow. Think of it again like a boot camp.
Yeah.
Now I'm not a drill instructor with my kids. That's not the relationship I want. But I'm right there with you to help you grow. And I don't expect you on the first day to be as proficient as you'll be at the end of basic training. And that means I'm going to get dirty with you. I'm going to work with you. We're going to grow together. And to me, that's the whole concept of training.
Yes. Training is a verb.
Yes.
Train, it's not an object. It's not putting them in. Yeah, it's a verb.
And if you think back to God's, his first command to man was fill the earth.
Yes.
Fill the earth. Now, what's the purpose of that? Well, I want you to reproduce so that you're training these young hearts to now replicate me because the character of God and the love of God will fill the earth.
That's right.
And that's why the Lord was so upset at the Tower of Babel, because man says, no, we're not doing that. No. God says, I want my character to fill the earth. And if you think of what we get to do as parents, especially godly parents, we're training our children to emulate and imitate and magnify our God wherever they go. And so if you think of the mission statement that we have as parents, and this was actually our mission statement that we have personally with our kids, we want our kids to be a blessing to others. And so you begin with the end in mind. And what a powerful opportunity we have as parents to replicate the love of our Father in our children so that our children go out and become that light to this world that desperately needs to see Him and know him. And so, that's what we want to do as parents.
That's what we should do. My husband David's, one of his favorite verses is in Malachi 2, where it says, why did he make them one?
Yeah.
Because he seeks godly offspring. That's why we're in this marriage, is to make those godly offspring so that they can go forward and teach and have children of their own. Are you from a long lineage of Christians?
Well, actually, from my mom's side, yes, my dad wasn't. In fact, my dad's had always been a great inspiration to me because he was invited to church when he was in middle school with a friend, started going. And then on a Wednesday night when the friend's family came over to pick him up, my granddad told my dad, granted, he's in middle school, you leave here tonight, don't ever come home.
Really?
So that was his
middle school.
Middle school. He went.
Oh.
Went on to church. Now, my grandmother was not going to let that happen. She lived in the house, but that was the environment. And so my dad was an inspiration to me by his faith. Later, my granddad, when my dad was in high school, would be arrested by the FBI, and he's taken to prison. And my dad not only finished school, he also took on full-time work so that he could make sure that my grandmother didn't lose the house.
That's a good man.
And then
son.
I have that lineage in there. So if you say grow up in the church, yes, my mom's side, my dad, not so much, but they got together. And so my parents were great parents in that regard, that they wanted you to grow in the nurture and the admonition of the Lord, and you respected their history and their story as well.
Well, I think that's what makes your counseling even more powerful, because people can kind of say, well, you've just had it easy all your life.
Yeah.
And you know the heart and how the beauty can come from the heart. And possibly with parents, they have come from the heart too. And it's hard to parent in a way you've never seen before. That's a hard one.
Yeah.
And I know that here in Cheryl's counseling in this class is going to do wonders to help those people who've come from the hard place. And maybe you're still in the hard place. And I know that you and Cheryl got to put a vote in there for Cheryl. Yeah, they're so compassionate that anyone who attends your classes is going to feel that. You're not going to come away and go, oh, all they did was give me a list of rules that I can't. That's not Phil and Cheryl. They're going to get in there shoulder to shoulder. And you're going to dig in the ditch with them and help them out.
Yeah. One thing that we have noticed is I've had the blessing to go around to a lot of places, a lot of churches, and be around a lot of families, a lot of communities. I have seen a pattern when it comes to children that are faithful, a more consistent pattern. And that is when a child is growing up in a home where church and the relationship with God comes first. In other words, church is not the reason that, well, you don't look for other things as a reason not to go to church. In other words, this came first. No, church is the reason you don't go to other places or do other things, whether it's ball or anything else, even sometimes school functions,
It does.
When that attitude is there, and when those parents are actively involved in the church.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yes. They're not just Sunday only. They're the ones that are holding the group meetings. They're the ones hosting the teen gatherings. They're the ones doing the Bible class program. They're the ones actively involved. And then those kids are involved in service, and life doesn't just revolve around them.
Right.
That they're involved.
Very important when you have children. The world can't revolve around that. Yeah. Because guess what? The world doesn't.
Yeah.
They leave your home.
They leave your home. Those are the kids that generally, you go look, and I would encourage you, wherever you are, wherever you're going to church or wherever you're around, look for the families that have been blessed with faithful children, and look at what they kind of have in common. And I think you'll see those three things more often than not. And that's not easy.
No.
But what those children are being taught is they're learning that training in the Lord.
Training in the Lord.
Yes. And so you see that.
Mm-hmm.
You see that in them. And I'm a big believer. I'll just go and say one of the best things you can do for your kids is surround them with just good people.
Oh, hallelujah. Yeah, absolutely. I believe that.
Every kid needs a board of directors. Here's what I mean by that. This is what we taught Cheryl and Greg is you need somebody in your life who represents every aspect of your life. For example, I wanted Dana and David Carosa in my life because they know service and charity and working with children. They need to be on my board. I need somebody who I think is a great example of a godly marriage, a couple on my board. I need somebody who I think is really good at parenting on my board. Somebody who in my profession is faithful to God and thriving on my board. In other words, it's not a literal board of directors, but they are people in your life that you can lean on, that you can talk to, or you just can observe. And you know how they
use powerful.
Financial, how they use their money, how they give their money, stewardship. You want them on your board. You need yourself constantly surrounded with these godly people.
Yes.
Because don't go out and feel like you have to reinvent the wheel in every aspect of your life. Find the people who you feel are proficient, put them on your board, and learn from them. And so it's so important to teach our kids that. And that's why, first of all, I'm a big believer in summer camp. Especially
that is.
You're surrounding your children with amazing people, not just the counselors and the staff, which are amazing, but you're surrounding them with other young people who have the same desire to serve the Lord. You want them. Surrounding your kids.
Yes.
That's the environment you want. And then the same thing, obviously, when our kids came time to go to school, we wanted them at Florida College.
Right.
You know, it wasn't just the professors and the education, it's that community. And I can say today that our kids have probably been more influenced by the amazing friends that they've had, as well as anything else.
That's exactly what happened, you know, for my kids too. And the kids and the friends that they've had growing up, the ones who've remained friends were the ones that they grew up with in the church and then in college and those. But I think that I love his example of having a board. And I will tell you, as an older person, if a young person came to me and said, can you be here to, you know, help me, mentor me and all, that is such a supreme compliment. Like, yes, they won't be met with resistance. As long as your child is asking in a way that it's understood what they're wanting, you know, like, I don't want $500 I want you to help me through. And so those of our listeners out there, if anybody in your sphere is doing this with their children and someone comes to them and asks them, you know, would you be my mentor for this, or will you be on my board for this? You understand what's going on. This is a wonderful movement, and I'm fully supported. And I hope that everyone supports this so that this child doesn't have to be your blood. Right?
Well, and think of the people that you have just in your church community. Like, for example, all of us, when we rear our children, especially through the teenage years, it can be a little challenging. Fair? If you got a teenager, you know that. And sometimes, and I think it's not fair, but we act like teenagers are just, they're so crazy, they're not going to listen. No. They just heard you their whole life. I don't know what you're going to say. They're done. And God, by his care, has given all of us a spirit of independence, and it begins to flex itself when we get to the teenage years.
You want your children to be independent.
You don't want to live in your basement. You want them to be independent. But it can be a little challenging. So here's what you do. You make sure you find somebody else who has your values that your children look up to, and you get your children with them.
Good.
And
great advice.
Cheryl and I called it the Jedi. It's like, you want to hang out with so-and-so. You want to hang out with so-and-so. And we were blessed to have people that were part of the family in Christ that we worshiped with in Gainesville.
That is a blessing.
That became powerful influences in our children's lives, who, even when our kids came home from college, my son would go, "Hey, good to see you, but I'm going to go hang out with Mark."
No.
And I'm good with that. Mark, what an amazing leader in the church there, a deacon. He loved to work out, big football sports fan, but he was an amazing influence and still is on our son. Well, he became, if you will, the next instructor to train my son. And I'm good with that. I'm good with that because now my son hears it from somebody else.
Yes.
And it reinforces what you want, but it's not your voice.
Right.
And so you have these amazing resources.
Mm-hmm.
Use them.
Use them.
Use them.
And be used. If someone asks you, say yes.
Yeah.
Say yes. And I know that especially with women, we're like, well, I'm not really adequate. Yeah, you are.
Yeah, sure.
If a young person comes to you, they've seen something in you.
Yeah.
And you need to develop that with them. It's a wonderful idea. I love what you and Cheryl are doing because there's, there's so much needed for this young generation.
And we just need to be creative and fake and work together and understand we're all in this together.
Yes.
I'm not just committed to my kids. I'm committed to your kids and your grandkids.
Yes.
And any other kids that want to be associated with us at the school or the church or in our lives or the camps.
Mm-hmm.
I mean.
And we've got to set pride aside too.
Yeah.
Because, some parents like to be, no, I'm the only one.
Mm-hmm.
You got to let that go.
Yeah.
Because once you let that go and let God get in your life and bless you with all of these, you're denying yourself a lot of blessings. We got to let pride go for so many things.
Well, you kind of look back to the, Bible times and ancients. It was a community.
It was.
They were the children.
Yes.
The older men sat in the gates. Well, they were there, not just to guard the entrance to the city. They were there for everybody to go to for advice and counsel.
And
and you sat and talked and you worked together and you grew up together as a family unit and as a community together. And so I think that's important. We sometimes hear, well, what's the deal with kids today? I can't believe kids today. The kids are so different. Well, no, they're not.
No, they're not.
Kids are always exactly the same.
Yeah.
Parents are different.
Yes.
The culture is different.
Yes.
And so we've got to recognize every kid comes out of the womb exactly the same as every kid before.
Fresh.
And so we want to be mindful that we get to build that environment. We get to build that community and surround them with godly people. And I think that's just so important. It's so important to our parenting. And we'll say this, it's a little soapbox. Our kids today grow up with one of the greatest challenges that's ever been given. Screens.
Oh, yes. Oh.
And screens are destroying our kids. And I'm not trying to be dramatic like the old news guy, the doom and gloom.
Well, I'll just join you with that drama.
The research is showing that now. I've ever read the book Anxious Generation. And if you haven't, you need to read that, written by Jonathan Haidt. He's a social psychologist. He shows us that. And I think states are getting it now. I think we're going to see more and more legislature jump on or legislation with respect to restricting social media and things of that nature. And we're seeing it in our schools because we realize it's not good for our kids. And I think as parents, we need to be mindful of that. Mm-hmm. Screens are not their friends. Mm-hmm. We need interaction that is verbal, that is communicative, that is relational, one-on-one. It doesn't need to be from a screen. And we're allowing anybody anywhere in the world to come into their life unguarded.
So frightening to me. Leaving the grandmother.
Yeah, you're just leaving the door open to your home.
Yeah. And they know everything about you.
Yeah, and it's sad.
It is. It's very sad. But I see with my grandchildren, if we do things with them, projects, not like, well, sure, we've taken them to Disneyland and Disney World and all those things. But like right now, our grandson is helping with all the landscaping.
Oh, that's good.
2 acres, and it's hard work.
Sure.
But he is taking such pride in that.
Sure.
And I know that my granddaughter has helped me a lot with the Sacred View and, putting her to work, put our kids to work And you're not going to break them. You know, when we were raising our kids, we owned a medical lab, and those kids worked shoulder to shoulder with us. Now, they will tell you it's the worst time of their life. They've got some horror stories, but in the end, they know that they learned a lot from that, and they were kept away from a lot. So
absolutely.
Yeah, don't be afraid to put your kids to work with you. And they may not like it and they'll gripe and complain, but you just keep going.
Well, think back to our Lord Jesus.
Yes.
The first 30 years of his life, we don't have a lot of documentation. Why? Because his life was exactly like everybody else's.
Right.
He got up and went to work. As a child, he worked with his dad.
See, family business.
He learned the business.
Yeah.
And that was who he was. I mean, we got to be mindful of that. We need to recognize our kids need to learn how to work. And that goes back to the training.
Yes.
Now, is it harder? Would it be easier to just say, hey, go watch a movie and I'll knock this out?
Hell,
that's much easier.
Yeah.
You know.
Here's a pat.
Yeah. Knock yourself out.
Happy.
Yeah. But no, we're going to sit down and we're going to work together. Another thing, I'm a big believer in family meals.
Oh, me too. Me too.
And a family time, and the family comes first.
Yes.
If you think of your priorities, when you think of a family and the essentials of parenting, you need to have a plan. You've purposefully established a plan for your family and where you want your children to go and what you want them to be, beginning with the end in mind, Stephen Covey. The second thing is you emphasize family.
Yes.
Family always comes first.
You do.
And that includes, hey, we're not going to every ball game, or we're not going to be overly committed in everything, because we need to be together as a family. And that's hard.
It is.
It's hard.
It's tricky.
But we sit together as a family. We function as a family. We love as a family. And unity of the family trumps everything.
It does.
Trumps everything.
It should.
Because
it's that unit that's going to go through time. And I know my mother lived with us until she was 96 years old. And it's that unit that you don't break down.
Yeah.
And you tell and you show your young kids this is what family is.
Yeah.
And then extension of that is God's family, which is the most glorious family that includes all of us. Yeah. And that, I think those are beautiful things. Well, do you have a name for your
Well, Cheryl and I just get together. We've been asked by churches to come and to do workshops or seminars. We don't have a name for it.
So we can put your contact information on our website. Okay. Yeah. So if you're interested in having Cheryl and Phil come and
Cheryl, that's who you really want. That's just
well, you go as a set. Right. Salt and pepper. Here's Eric. But you will give you the contact. Phil has been so gracious to let us share that with you. So look for that on our website. And I know that you'll be blessed with all those who attend and for the generations to come. I'm just so glad that you and Cheryl are doing this, because I see such a great need for it everywhere I go. And people who are seasoned in it and you've done it, right? That's who you want to talk to. That's who you want to talk to.
Well, and again, we're not experts. We're just facilitators of thoughts and ideas, and we can share what we consider our victories and our failures as parents. But we work together. We work together to think.
And I think that's really key, because when you talk about parenting, I'm always suspect if it's just one gender, not the other. Like, let's see how, because husbands and wives both have to be one accord on parenting.
Oh, yes.
Because kids like to drive a wedge between you, don't they?
No, and parents need, you got to help one another. We all have our strengths and weaknesses that we can work together. In fact, funny story is when it came to driving, I had to do all the driving.
Oh.
Cheryl probably would have killed them.
Yeah.
It was just on her job. Now, when it came to their education and studying with them, Cheryl's the person you want.
Yeah.
I'll take care of Bible, public speaking, communications. Everything else is on Cheryl.
Oh.
You know,
See, isn't that great? You've got a marriage like that, because people say, "Oh, we're not anything alike." Like, no, that's good.
that's good.
David and I aren't alike at all either. But yeah, it's the same thing David would say when he would take our oldest when she was learning. He'd say, after he'd come home, his right leg was cramping. The imaginary break on the passenger side.
I've all done that.
Yeah, that was too much for him. But he was great when it came to teaching them, especially math and science. That's his thing. But yeah, it's a wonderful thing that you're doing. And we so appreciate you coming by today. And will you come see us again?
Absolutely.
And bring Cheryl?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And thank you for all that you're doing. And I appreciate it so much. It's been such a joy to see just the growth in our community as brethren, not just in an evangelistic way in which we serve in our churches, but now in a service way, in serving and providing for the orphan and those who need homes, and having homes provide a home.
Right.
For children. And so God bless you and David for all that you've done.
Thank you. We've been tremendously blessed. That's why we wanted to do more. And this is one of the more things, and it's lots of fun for me anyway. But so thank you all for listening in to us today, and take a little time and look through the lens of God, look through the sacred view of your life. Thank you. Have a blessed day. Bye.